On Tuesday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed legislation requiring students, faculty, and staff at the state's public universities and colleges to register their political views with the state, apparently in order to support intellectual diversity. Ah, yes. The state, according to the Tampa Bay Times, will require taxpayer funded colleges and universities to issue surveys to determine the extent to which competing ideas and perspectives are presented on campus and whether students, faculty, and staff feel free to express their beliefs and viewpoints. So, of course, this goes back to the conservatism is shunned on campus. What about my free speech? I need to have Ben Shapiro here at my at my college to go and make speeches about how capitalism is amazing. So, yeah, that's what happens. So now again, they're forcing people to not only out themselves politically in colleges, but to send that list to the government. Now, why? Because the government will then use that to decide whether or not to cut funding to these schools. So there is no way, oh, well, of course, there's no way that will ever be used against people who have an opposing ideology to the governor of Florida. Understand what this is. It's disastrous. Now, DeSantis says, quote, "It used to be thought that a university campus was a place where you'd be exposed to a lot of different ideas." Well, yeah, it is. Unfortunately, he says, now the norm is these are more intellectually repressive environments. You have orthodoxies that are promoted and other viewpoints are shunned and even suppressed. Maybe the ones that are shunned because they suck. And why do you hate the free marketplace of ideas in colleges? Curious. Now, does he have any examples, by the way, of people being shunned? No. But apparently, he claims that he knows some parents that are worried that their children are going to be indoctrinated with ideas that the parents don't support. So again, you probably have these, wealthy conservative parents that, their kids will go to college, or not even like middle class, suburban parents. And their kids go to school and they learn like, oh, it turns out black people are getting screwed over and beaten up by police for no reason. You have the working class that continues to be crushed by, giant conglomerates. People like Jeff Bezos get away with paying almost nothing in taxes. Not only that, but it turns out that pretty much every other country has universal health care for everybody, but we don't, because you have pharmaceutical companies and large insurance corporations and lobbyists that make sure that none of us have, affordable health care. And they don't want their kids to find out about that stuff. Like, no, you don't understand. The status quo is great. No, the status quo is awesome. And Governor DeSantis, we are very, very worried about our kids learning about how the status quo actually sucks for anybody that's not us. So you need to clamp down on that. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. How about letting your kids make their own decisions based on the information that they are presented with? I mean, they're saying, oh, indoctrinated. Makes it sound like these kids are stupid and have zero agency in their lives. Which is, ironically, oh, a lot of the kids that go into college, aren't they? So you're saying they're not old enough to make their own decisions about what political ideology they're in. But at the same time, they can sign out tens of thousands of dollars worth of loans just to be able to go to that school. They're responsible enough for that, but not responsible enough to be able to take information that's presented to them and actually get their own political ideology out of it. Okay, then. It really seems like they're afraid of the free marketplace of ideas on college campuses and want to clamp down on any sort of non-conservative ideologies. And that's what this is. In fact, during debate, a pair of state legislators complained that Florida colleges and universities had become, quote, socialism factories. You know, in case you weren't clear enough about this, it's incredibly insidious. And they're actually, by the way, trying to use woke language in order to be oppressive. As they said, oh, intellectual diversity, as if we're stupid enough to fall for that one. Now, House Speaker Chris Sprowls was quoted saying on debate on this bill, quote, as the governor said, we are at great risk as a nation and as a state, and the lack of intellectual diversity that is on our university campuses. We have decided that one ideological standard will win the day. But the thing is, we're losing because we're not having real conversation. Notice how he says, oh, well, we're losing this one. So now we're going to make sure that our ideological standard wins today. Because again, we don't believe in the free marketplace of ideas. We don't believe that other people should be, or that people should be exposed to liberal ideas or progressive ideas, because it turns out people actually like them. Oh, sucks. Again, you are losing because people are actually able to have real conversations and learn things about reality, which has a liberal bias. Now, DeSantis and the bill's sponsor, State Senator Ray Rodriguez, suggested that funding could be cut as punishment for colleges and universities that were found to be, according to their standards, indoctrinating students under this measure, which goes into effect July 1st. So they've already passed this. They've already signed this. This is what they're doing. And a pull funding from any college that teaches reality, essentially. Ridiculous. DeSantis said this, quote, that's not worth tax dollars, and that's not something that we're going to be supporting moving forward. The so-called indoctrination. Rodriguez insisted that faculty would not be promoted or fired based on their political views recorded in the survey. Oh, well, I guess we'll just take your word for it, which is not required to be filed anonymously, which means their names are going to be given to the government and will be selected or created by the state's University Systems Board of Governors and the State Board of Education. Sure. Oh, of course. Yeah, no. Nothing bad will ever happen as a result of this. Oh, of course not. Oh, no. And while he's doing these lists of liberal students and faculty that he will have access to, DeSantis also signed a law prohibiting university and college officials from limiting campus speech that may be uncomfortable, disagreeable, or offensive, and will allow students to record lectures without consent that may be used as evidence in a civil or criminal case against educational institutions, meaning there will be groups like Project Veritas that will go in and into these places, and anytime a professor talks about something liberal in their class, they'll go and they'll take that video and they'll use it in lawsuits, criminal suits, against these very same professors or instructors, and say, look, you violated this law. You're indoctrinating students. How dare you? That is fucked up. That is seriously screwed up. Now, here's the thing. I actually believe in freedom of speech. I actually believe in freedom of all of ideas. So here's the thing. Am I okay with Ben Shapiro or Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk going and speaking at a college campus? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's totally fine. See, the thing is, I'm not afraid of their ideas. Why? Because their ideas suck and are easily disproven and debunked. But apparently, Ron DeSantis thinks, no, our ideas suck so much that we have to come up with draconian laws that would likely violate free speech. And we're going to come up with this because we are so afraid of their ideas. Again, fucked. Totally fucked. But we know that as a response to this, they're going to abuse this. Absolutely. Ron DeSantis is an authoritarian. And that's what this is. They're authoritarians. He has these tendencies. And of course, this is going to be used to target people who disagree with him politically. And that's the only reason that they're trying to make these lists. To chill actual free speech on college campuses. And make sure to have lists of all the liberals that are in the system. It's disgusting. Do not pretend this is about diversity of thought. This is all about Florida and Republicans, conservatives, losing ideologically. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.